Welcome, podcast listeners. You are here with your host, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. It is episode number 238 of the Fret Talk podcast. You are joined today by Mr. Matt Quine. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Woo! You're also joined by, oh my gosh, it is Josh.
Good Abend.
Whatever that guy said.
Good evening in German.
Guten Nacht.
Sehr gut.
Si, senorita.
Two beers, please. Two.
Two.
That's it.
Two.
You shout it. Yeah, two beers. Like beer.
Yeah.
Not cerveza, por favor.
There you go. So, our Spanish listeners, sorry. In fact, our foreign-speaking listeners, sorry. You may
also learn English.
Yeah. I mean, there is that. But so you might notice that I'm feeling a little bit gruff this week. You can hear the raspiness in my voice. We have got a budget poorly chap this week.
He's absolutely positive.
That is it, yeah.
Second round of the lurgy, innit?
It is. And it's not going to be about this week. But show must go on. Lee did send a message in the group this week and says, "Oh, just have a week off. Like we never do it." And I was like, "Not on my watch."
And that was when there was a collective groan from the rest of the podcast going, "Oh,
yeah, another one." Damn it! We thought we had the week off. But yes, it is number 238 of the Fret Talk podcast, and we have got a podcast for you today, or at least I hope we do.
I'm sure we can cram it and like cut it in, form some semblance of a releasable thing.
Indeed, I mean, the end of it. If not, I'll just do a greatest hits episode. That's a way
where you record Queen's greatest hits and then release it as a podcast.
I mean, that would probably be our most popular one, that would it?
You should finish the episode then at the show must go on and then play Queen and then you kind of like,
yeah, seamlessly transition into like copyright theft. But there we go. So it is a podcast this week. So gentlemen, I believe that we've not really been up to a lot this week. So like who wants to volunteer?
I did a band practice last night, so I have been up to much, but all I did was play the songs that I was supposed to have learnt last time, and I finally learned them.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so it's just a case of going over that, and yeah, I worked out that that's the first time that I've been at a rehearsal where every member of the band's been there since October.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's nice to get back to it, and we've got a gig a week on Saturday, so
cool.
Yeah, it's just getting ourselves ready for that.
Yeah. And what songs that you were throwing in? Sorry,
so it was Comfortably Numb and Sir Duke, which we've decided that we're not going to throw in 2 weeks' time because it's quite like rehearsal intensive, and we realised that actually we needed to go over some of the stuff that we haven't played in the last 5 months.
Funny that.
Yeah, we went through it once, and we're like, this is going to require some work, and we need to concentrate on all the rest of the shit.
I mean, I'd agree. It sounds like a sensible idea.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing, but like, yeah, it's definitely going to like just in terms of structure, it's a pain in the ass before you try and like get everybody playing in time with that really weird, or not weird, but the fairly complicated like bass trumpet and what's going to be a bass trumpet and guitar line, because I've decided that I'm going to play along so that the keyboardist can play the trumpets and I'll play the keyboard line.
Okay, cool. So I'm just trying to picture it in my head, the like counter melody that's going on. It's all kind of like syncopated.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very syncopated. There's actually no guitar in that bit, which allows me to then do the stabby kind of keyboard bit.
Cool. Any gear or anything that we want to mention?
No, like guitar, pedals, an amp.
Good podcasting.
Yeah, but no new gear, no nothing along those lines. It's just a case of then the other song was "Comfortably Numb," which just throw a bit of extra gain in and stamp on a pedal and use delay.
yeah, just saturate it in all kinds of roominess. Yeah. I mean, that's
weirdly because Gilmore's a bit of a country player, so I have to turn the compression up on the compressor, which is weird for me because I hate compressors. But if you don't, it just sounds really weird.
Yeah, there's not enough
sound right.
Not enough sustain and evenness to the tone.
Yeah, and it's not for me. It's not a tone that I would actively go out and seek, but actually for that song, it works really well. And yeah,
it almost does a similar thing that a tube screamer does when it's on high gain, doesn't it? Where the compression takes away all the spikiness, which is the top end, really. Yeah. Those are like the initial transients of the note, and it deadens those straight away. So you end up getting a really kind of mid-rich tone that sustains for quite a while.
Yeah, and it takes away the harshness of the pinched harmonics at the start of the outro solo. Like there's a couple of pinched harmonics in there, and there's a few further into it as well, and it just kind of evens everything out and just allows it to kind of sit in roughly the same place in the mix rather than kind of any harshness.
Yeah, so really kind of that is the signature of a pinched harmonic unadorned with mass amounts of compression, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Josh, what say we?
I have not really done all that much, to be honest. I filmed a podcast with the wonderful Marcus Darby of Deluxe Pedals.
Yes.
It actually turned into literally 5 minutes of talking about him and, music history with him. And then it literally was an hour and a half of just solid talking gear. So it actually is the first time that the Guitar Geeks podcast has actually lived up to its name.
Get in. Because there's a lot of like story stuff in the Guitar Geeks podcast, isn't there?
Yeah. Like people, I always get messages and they're like, "Oh, what questions are you going to ask?" And I go, "We don't do that here." I literally we kind of go with the flow, and so it's probably nice. Maybe some people like the podcast for hearing people's musical journeys or whatever, but this actually did end up talking about pedals and guitars and just everything gear related. And I have made a new preset up on the Neural Cloud.
Oh, tell me more.
I was just making some sounds to try and fit in for this audition that I got coming up, and I was just messing about, and I thought, what if I pair this and this? And to be honest, I'm not going to use this preset, but I do quite like it because it pairs in stereo a EVH 5150 and a Soldano SLO 100, both in full stereo with Tube Screamer in front, and in addition to add an octave pedal.
Cool.
Which is quite nice, but I set it up so you can have full stereo with the Tube Screamers, full stereo with the octave, and then each side by themselves. If you just want to run one of the amps, and again you can bring in the pedals. I think I put it up yesterday, and I think it's about 150 downloads or something like that at the moment.
Nice.
But other than that, I haven't really done much, to be quite honest with you. It's been a very lazy week for Oh My Gosh, It's Josh.
There's circling back to our Marcus, because I follow Marcus on Instagram as well, and even though he is a purveyor of fine quality pedal boards, because I've got 3 in this room already. His gear is not to be sniffed at, isn't it?
Oh no, we were talking about it. He's got one of the KTRs. He's got. I think I remember he said he's got a first draft of. I think it was a Thorpe pedal. I think he mentioned. I can't quite remember. And yeah, I was very impressed with his gear, and he's got a lovely little stereo setup in his room. I must say, it did pique the gear whore in me. I must admit.
Yeah, he's got some choice selections on that pedal board, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he reps quite a few of our frequenters. Like he's got some Tate stuff, he's got some JSA stuff, he's got some like some Hello Sailor stuff as well. Like so, he's very much running in the same circles that we tend to on this podcast quite a lot.
He said he needs me to hit up James from Homertone, as I'm going to get sorted with a nice little pedal board for the Quad Cortex for when I'm doing the demonstrations.
Oh, so yeah, cool.
I've got to make sure I hit up Homertone this week, and I'll probably forget, knowing me.
Yeah. So you're going for one of the Vert Deluxe boards?
I am, yes, because I think for when I'm doing the demonstrations and making presets, sometimes it is quite a faff if I'm bending over and bits and pieces. So it will do an absolute delight for what I need.
Yeah. I mean, like through the various stages of No Talk Tone series, you'll see like my initial one, which was just the standard Vert Deluxe. Then he bought a Vert Deluxe with a little shelf on, so that they don't have to have Velcro on the pedals. So I bought that one, and then he did like an individual pedal one with a shelf. Yeah. So that's what's being used at the moment. But you see them cropping up all over the shop.
That's it. He was mentioning that, obviously not to give too much around the podcast, but he was saying like, he spotted them on Andertons, and he spotted them cropping all over Facebook, Instagram. I said when I was at the UK guitar show, when I was demoing some stuff in the SMP booth and Redbeard,
yeah,
I saw a couple of his pedal boards there, and I actually first met Marcus when I was playing a guitar in the SMP booth.
Nice.
Through one of the Dovers there, and Marcus was there as well. And I hate to admit, I didn't realise it was him until he reminded me of it.
Yeah, because he was hanging around with Stuart Tate and Phil of Pedal Patch, weren't he? He was around that kind of area.
Yeah,
and they were like a stone's throw away from the Dover amps.
Yeah, because I think Dover, there was Dover, and then on either side of Dover there was Chapman, and then other side of Chapman, I think there was Manson and Orp and Redbeard and all that, so they're all kind of in the same vicinity, I think, if I remember rightly.
Indeed. Yeah, and I met a few internet peeps at that show that I'd known for ages, like Marcus. I also met John Tron Davidson of Heavy Repping. I was about to say Pick Universe then, but it's not. It's the Plectroverse. The Plectroverse, not Pick Universe, Nobber. But yeah, like all these people, like known them for ages on online, and met them at the guitar show.
And that was it. Like that was the first time, to be fair, I'd been to the UK guitar show, and there was like, obviously I knew the people from Chapman, and I have a good relationship with Rabia and Rob anyway.
Yeah.
But obviously, it was meeting people like Mikey Demas and just people like that you've seen on YouTube plenty of times, or chatted to on Facebook, like Carl Golden. And I'd been following Carl Golden for years, and I just turned round and bumped into him, and I was like, I didn't know you were here. I can't wait to go this year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a little bit later this year, isn't it? Because usually it would have happened by now.
7th, 8th of May, I think.
Sounds about right.
All of us at I want to say all of us at Pedal Boards of Doom, some of us at Pedal Boards of Doom and the Fret Talk podcast will be there.
Indeed. Yeah, I imagine I probably will be. I've not got tickets yet, but I imagine I will be.
I may be working. We'll see.
I would have been, but I've got a gig, so it's not worth flying over for the afternoon and then flying back.
No, not at all.
No.
Although it is a good laugh. It's quite a jaunt, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd probably get about an hour there before I had to turn around and go back to the airport to get back here.
No,
So
you need a good day's worth to get you most out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Especially coming from the Isle of Man, you'll have to pay your import fees to get in or whatever. I don't know how it works there.
Gotta fucking get myself a COVID passport before I can fucking leave the island.
Yeah, there is that too.
Somebody jab a fucking stick up my nose. Yeah, sod that for 2 hours worth.
Yeah, I don't think they jabbed the stick up for 2 hours. Maybe, I don't know. I've not transited from and to the Isle of Man. I don't know the protocol.
Yeah, we've got different protocols. Stick down the nose for 2 hours, and if you can put up with that, then you think you're probably worthy of a half-hour journey.
I'm surprised they can still call it Isle of Man and people haven't got offended by it.
Oh, they have.
It's not Isle of Them or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's Isle of People, actually, is what we're supposed to be transitioning towards.
I mean, it should be I'll be back, shouldn't it? It should be sponsored by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, doesn't he promote like packs of bacon or something like that?
Does he?
I have no idea.
Because bacon is from the back of a pig. Smart joke that.
Incredibly smart. I've done some stuff this week. In fact,
what have you done?
I made a preset on the stomp with the sole intention of it sounding bad.
And did it?
I mean, to a degree, yeah. So I'll give you a bit of the thought process behind it, because like I've got presets like built up on my stomp already, and they sound pretty decent. I am planning on doing a video for Pedalboards of Doom in the near future about like the best option for a beginner guitar pedal, like out of a couple of the regular ones that you'd expect. But I figured if I'm gonna do that, like shoving beginner guitar pedals through what is essentially like modeling like twin reverbs and like dumbles and all this stuff, it's a little bit redundant. So I'm going to try and use like the cheapest guitar that I've got, which unfortunately even that has got like iron gear pickups in it. So it still
iron gears are relatively affordable. It's not massive
affordable,
but it's not like the cheap shitty ceramic pickups you get in your standard Squire Strat. But I'm gonna use that anyway, because it's as close as I can get to like
what have you got in that LTD TE 212? Is that the iron gears that you've got in that one, or is it Fletcher's?
No, that's got a Seymour Duncan.
Yeah, definitely can't use that.
It's got a quarter pounder in the bridge and a DiMarzio Twang King in the neck, and it doesn't sound like a telly at all. They sound like Bookers, because they're like big fat sounding pickups. Like I've got a 202 and a 212, and the 202's got a it's got two telly neck pickups as a humbucker, and like all the pickups in it are Fletcher pickups. I've either got like Fletcher pickups in them or like Duncan's or DiMarzio's or whatever. So whatever guitar I've got is gonna sound better than like cheap Chinese crap. So unfortunately, I can't do it to that degree. But like the majority of people will start off on a Squire Strat, so I'll use a Strat. That's no problem. But all of my presets on the Stomp sound really good. So I was going through the amp list, and I was hoping that there would be like Line 6 Spider clean channel,
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's ever modelled that?
Yeah, I mean that's the issue. I was looking because they have got some Line 6 amp models, and they've got like the insane mode. I think they don't call it the insane mode. It's like the pulverizer or something like that, and it's like a reimagined insane mode, so not sounding like angry wasps. But I thought, like, if they've got something like that for like a clean channel, then that will be great to use. But they didn't. Unfortunately, they only had like the extreme metal end of the spectrum. So the closest thing I could get to that sounded shit, or sounded not like all of the rest of the amps, like really clean and dynamic and warm, was the Roland Jazz Chorus sound, because that is a solid state clean channel, and it's a bit nasal and a bit thin. And people do say that they are great sounding amps, but they're wrong. They sound okay. They sound okay at best. So
It's good enough for James Hetfield and Matt Bellamy. I think Adam Jones and Tool uses one.
I mean, these are all people whose tone are not the things that I would say is the best thing about them. It doesn't even come into the top 10. Like I would rate James Hetfield's yeahs over his guitar tone. So
Back on this, are we?
yeah, like back to Slayton Het. But like all of the other amp models are based on like various Fender amps and like Voxes and like various modded versions like Dumbles and Matchless and Dr. Z amps. So they're all like really, really cool sounding, thick valve clean channels, which is not what you'd get as a beginner. The Jazz Chorus was the closest thing I got. So I've set a like a preset that I've called Crap Amp, and that will be my bass tone for this experiment, and we'll see.
So what I'm going to suggest live on the Fret Talk podcast is, once you are free from your COVID positive situation, I have a bone stock £50 ESP LTD here with ESP LTD pickups in.
Nice.
I want the guitar back in time for me to get my Fletcher pickups, but you can use it.
Fair play. Yeah, that sounds like a decent catch. That does, and we'll see how good the tones I can get out of it. It's basically going to be a shootout between two quite distinctive early pedals that you might see, and that's all I'm going to say on that so far.
Question for you: you know the amps in the Helix Stomp?
Yeah.
Are you able to change the cabs?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
So could you run the JC 120 into a single 8-inch speaker, so that it's as close to what you might like, so that it's as solid statey and shitty as possible to the nearest? Like, you remember those little fucking things that came in the practice, like when you bought your guitar and you got a practice amp with it, and it's usually a 6 or an 8-inch speaker, and it's 10 watts, but it's solid state, and you could use the JC 120 into a single 8 or a single 6.
Yeah, so there is an 8-inch cab, or like an 8-inch combo speaker. However, it's a champ, so it's going to be a Jensen speaker, and it's going to be quite a decent 8-inch speaker.
It's not going to be generic Ibanez lying in the back of the factory.
Yeah, it's not going to be like fridge magnet speaker, with cone that's made of whatever cardboard was left.
Plasticine.
Yeah. So, like the tone I've got so far is, it's thin enough and kind of honky and nasal enough to it does give you that like early practice amp kind of tone. I've dialed it in particularly badly as well, so we're onto a winner. But this week as well, by the time that this podcast is out, it will have aired. But this week for us is the debut of a new video on the BudgetPedalChap channel. I've been teasing it for a while, and I've been kind of wondering what to do with it. But this week I've actually recorded it, and it's coming out. It's all done. It's all scheduled. We will be out by the time this. So it's going to be what's called No Talk All Tone versus. So in previous No Talk All Tones, it has been one pedal, and you get all of the tones that you can get out of that pedal. Usually takes about 5-10 minutes per pedal, and it is just one pedal. You look through all of the tones, and that's it. This week we are pitting two pedals against each other, and the way that we're going to kick it off is a Tube Screamer shootout. We have got the Ibanez TS Mini, which is considered quite a decent but very affordable version of the Ibanez Tube Screamer, versus the Joyo Vintage Overdrive, which again is it's heralded as quite a decent budget alternative to a Tube Screamer.
I think the Joyo will come out on top.
It is surprising. I'm going to tell you that it's quite surprising, and neither pedal are bad.
It's the Joyo one. If that's the one, the green one with the yellow knobs, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah.
Yes, because my friend's got one of those in front of his amp. He's got the Black Star Series 100, and it's bloody brilliant.
Okay.
Like, because he showed it me with and without it, and he was using, I think he was using the Jim Root Jazzmaster, and it just really tightened it up nicely, must admit.
Yeah, I mean, it is very much aimed at a specific Tube Screamer sound. And both of those pedals sound, they sound like Tube Screamers, so they sound similar in ways, but then there are definitely some characteristics that kind of branch them off from each other. I would argue that you could own both in your collection and justify it, mainly because I do, and there is an off chance that my other half might listen to this. So there's a reason I've got them both. I've got so many Tube Screamers, I'll be honest. I probably don't need that many.
I've never owned one.
Interesting.
Well, the nearest I've got to owning a Tube Screamer is the MXR GTOD, which, you know, I guess it is kind of like a Tube Screamer. It's their version of it, but
yeah,
I've never actually used a, honest to God Tube Screamer. Never tried one.
I mean, if that's not a video that we have to do for Pedal Buds of Doom, that is like, I don't know what is. Like, man who has never used Tube Screamer uses Tube Screamer for the first time. This is. I mean, you've got to be like one of about 5 people.
But let's be quite honest. What's the point in me trying to use them? Because I run a Quad Cortex.
Oh yeah. Like, there's justification for not owning anything if you've got modelers.
Yeah.
But we all know that owning stuff is fun.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And no matter how good the modelers are, there's always something that's not quite there about the models.
An analog gear, yeah.
And I'm not saying like the analog gear will always be better, and it's not a case of that. It's just there's always going to be a difference.
Yeah.
So it's worth trying a proper one. When we get together and do a little bit of a recording sesh, I'll bring my TS Mini and you can try that out.
Absolutely, I'll be willing to give it a go.
Oh, show. What else have I done this week? Because I've definitely done something else. Oh no, those are the two things that I've done, and we're about halfway through the podcast. So this is where we introduce
New segment.
well, yeah, it's a segment that was started last week, but we've got an actual title for it this week. It is the lukewarm hot takes.
Insert catchy riff mid podcast.
That's it, like jingle. Yeah,
that.
Oh, that's the pedalboards of doom intro music.
Stream intro.
That's it. Whoops. Yeah, we'll use that. It's fine. So, lukewarm hot takes. So
now, the interesting thing is, when we say hot takes, we actually mean it because we've all pretty much got one.
So last week, we'll recap actually on last week's one because we did do a poll, didn't we, on this? I mean, so did you happen to catch the results of that poll there, Josh? So the question was, or in fact, the statement was that we were meant to argue was that Garage Inc. two times, yes, Josh. So Garage Inc. Has
like all of the songs. I was short.
Yeah, all of the covers on Garage Inc. are better than the originals, and I think it was something like over double the amount of votes voted for.
Fuck! It was like 5-3.
Okay, there we go. So that's an extra 40%, is it?
Yeah, something like that.
So it's almost unanimous.
But it was like the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. When he got beaten, the 1 was bigger than the 21, and that's what this win symbolises. So thank you to everybody that voted for us because we did eventually win.
If you check the votes as well, Paul Mason had voted for your one.
Commented against.
Yeah, commented that actually that's not what he meant, so he read it wrong. So it should actually be 6-2, but who's counting? So there is that. So this week's first hot take, because we've got 2 this week. The first hot take is coming from me. This is my statement, and I stand by this one. I will happily die on this hill. Judas Priest are better than Iron Maiden. I mean, it's controversial. It's meant to be controversial, but I believe that statement.
And I can name more songs by Iron Maiden than I can by Judas Priest, but I find Judas Priest's music better.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So, like in terms of the musicianship, I would argue that the guitarists in Iron Maiden completely outclass the guitarists in Judas Priest. I would argue that Bruce Dickinson has a far superior voice tonal quality, and I think he's probably got a better vocal range as well. So, like in terms of technical ability, on paper, Maiden are the best band, and actually, some of their absolute wicked tunes are like full-on bangers. They have got some absolutely wicked tunes.
Now, internet may be able to prove me wrong here, but I remember reading the fact that Rob Halford actually has a better vocal range than Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
And I think it was, I can't remember, I think it was something like 2.5 octaves Rob Holiday could do.
That's all well and good.
Rob Halford even, sorry.
That's all well and good, but when you put them in a band that writes songs that are so shit that no one can remember their names, then you might as well not be a vocalist. Like, Judas Priest are the kind of band that you look at, you see a 3-day festival lineup, you see Judas Priest, and you look at the other stage to see what's on in case you don't have to go back to your tent.
I mean, I'll put my hands up here and say that the most viewings of Judas Priest have been on like either multiple header gigs or
Sky Arts.
it wouldn't surprise me if they were on Sky Arts, to be fair. But no, like I've seen them at festivals a bunch of times. I've seen them at like gigs where it's been like 2 or 3 main headline acts, and I just so happened to catch Judas Priest.
So when you mentioned Judas Priest, in my head, I Fought the Law, which is wrong because it's breaking the law, isn't it? Not I Fought the Law.
I fought the broken law, yeah.
But because all I associate with them with is a song about the law.
Indeed.
And they're so forgettable that, like, I actually listened to a couple of their songs to try and remember who Judas Priest were, because they're just the kind of band that, you know, they were on Kerrang at the same time as when they did all these rundowns of like 80s and 90s stuff, and you know you're actually learning the Iron Maiden stuff. Occasionally songs would come on and I vaguely recognise some of them, but like they don't say anything to me. They don't, like, they're not songs that stick with me that I want to go away, and they're not songs that make me want to scream along to them. Whereas if you look at Iron Maiden's stuff, half of their songs, if you played like 2 or 3 seconds of, straight away I'm paying attention and I'm remembering screaming along at, like, to Kerrang, or screaming along to concerts that I've watched online. I've not managed to catch them yet, but I would actively pay for a ticket to an Iron Maiden concert. I would actively avoid Judas Priest if I'd already paid for a ticket for a concert.
I mean, if you put it in those terms, I have paid for an Iron Maiden ticket concert, and I haven't paid for like a sole Judas Priest concert. So that's a knock to my argument somewhat.
Am I right in saying that they still, when you're doing music school, am I right in saying that they still teach Painkiller to drum students as like an exam or a test or something? Because for that intro,
I don't know, but Painkiller is an absolute fucking jam.
I remember trying to learn it, and years ago, and I was like, the main riff's a bit tricky to get down, but once you kind of got it, it's not too bad. And then the solo kicks in, you just go, oh well, fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, this is where like KK Downing and Glenn Tipton kind of fight back against the Maiden boys, because
they shit all over it.
Well, even though the fast bits in those solos are sloppy, there's like some advanced techniques in there. There is like sweep techniques in there, and as far as I'm aware, there's no sweeping in Maiden. But like I will,
because it's melodic.
Yeah, well, so this is part of the crux of my argument, is that Iron Maiden have written some absolutely banging tunes. However, they're a bit like AC/DC, where AC/DC is not only the name but also the chordal instruction. With Iron Maiden, it's E, C, and D. And it's that for however many albums they are at now, probably about 40.
Now, I was actually looking through on Google, because I mean, I had to be honest, I'm not aware of the full Judas Priest discography, but with Iron Maiden, I'm pretty sure that they probably live off the royalties just from Number of the Beast and The Trooper alone, which were like, what, 83, 85, something like that, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that Judas Priest aren't getting by on I Fought the Law alone?
I Fought the Law isn't even their song.
I fought the law and the law won. Breaking the law, breaking the law.
The Clash did it as a cover.
Indeed. So, like, Judas Priest have got a fair few banging tunes. Like, if you've played GTA Vice City, you will definitely know another Judas Priest song.
What is it called?
You got another thing coming. You got another thing coming.
Yeah, vaguely.
I
think it's probably in there somewhere. I was more of a San Andreas person than a Vice City person, but
yeah, Vice City. Either way, like there's a couple of tunes from that earlier kind of like from British Steel and Screaming for Vengeance and all of those kind of the earlier stuff. But then, like you say, Painkiller, absolutely wicked album, came out in like the mid-90s, I think. So they spanned from very late 70s up until kind of the mid-90s, still producing like banging albums. Granted, they are still, I think they have still been releasing albums. I don't think they do necessarily anymore. But the last time I saw them, maybe about 10 years ago, they were promoting Nostradamus, which was their then current album. And
I
it's
think that was too long ago, as far as I'm aware.
I mean, it's probably a lot longer ago than I think it is. You'll probably find it's maybe 15 years ago or something by now. But like they
2008.
There you go. Oh,
but they've had 2 albums since then, and they're currently recording another one.
Well, there you go. I thought they'd stopped.
And like our resident budget, I can never say budget pedal chap. I can never say it. You start just going to go dun 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 dun. You know.
Yeah, and like I can guarantee, Iron Maiden have released maybe 3 or 4 albums since then, but at least half of the track listings will go dun 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 dun. Whereas at least Judas Priest are trying to keep it melodically interesting or rhythmically interesting, should I say? And that's my argument for it. I think the big Maiden hits are probably bigger than the Judas Priest big hits.
I don't think there's any probably about it. They're definitely bigger than the Judas Priest hits.
Yeah.
However, like on average, I could go through like a random album out of the Judas Priest discography and choose 5 songs, and they will vary a lot more than if I did the same thing with a Maiden album.
Oh yeah.
And I could do that probably 5 times over, and I'd get 25 different sounding songs from Judas Priest, or at very least, kind of 20 different sounding songs and some filler. Whereas with Maiden, at least half of those will go dun 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 dun. So I mean, they found a thing and they stuck to it, and they're not the only band that do. And I know last week I was like ripping on Metallica for trying new things, and now my argument for Judas Priest is that like they do things that aren't the same, but like there's a sweet spot, and I think whereas Metallica veered too far out of that sweet spot,
Maiden have become too comfortable in it.
Yeah, Maiden have gone the other way and they found the thing that they liked. They're heavy metal status quo, aren't they? Heavy metal status quo.
Wow.
Status Quo have got some absolutely wicked tunes.
Yeah.
But their career is built on and Iron Maiden's is built on so, and what really it just is the cherry on top as well is if you play an Iron Maiden song at 50% of the speed, it's a Dio song. Dun 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 dun. So,
yeah,
that's my argument against it, and we again will put this as a poll.
Yeah, I mean you're welcome to your Judas Priest or better, but like it's just they're just so bland that I don't know anything about them.
I would really suggest like digging into some like going into some albums, because you probably will like them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
but I would probably like being a homosexual, but I'm not willing to try it.
I mean, the fact that this is the second week on the trot, I think the lady doth protest too much here, isn't it? But there you go. I mean, whatever floats your boat, Josh. We do have a second hot take / lukewarm hot take.
Was this Matt's one or my one?
This is
my
your
one's
one.
not a hot take. All
Yeah.
I said was there hasn't been a good band created since 2005, and I think everybody here, and including the listenership, would agree with that statement. So there's no point in.
My question kind of fits into that, sort of.
Yeah.
In the fact that, that there is the argument that there has been no, great bands, because we always see, like, say, take Dallo, for example, the headline slots, let's be honest, it's always Maiden, Sabbath, Metallica. Next year it'll be fucking Avenged Sevenfold, blah 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 blah. I don't know.
AC/DC.
You might find
AC/DC and
like Killswitch and Disturbed. You might find Limp Bizkit have been one. So Out have been one,
and it's always the same ones on repeat.
But
and
I mean, we're talking about them as if they're.
This is where my hot take is coming in. The next band that I believe will reach that status and become shall we say, a largely profitable band that's really stamped there.
Yeah, like a headliner band, one that you'd put on a festival and they will draw the crowds.
Yes. And now this is where my hot take is Ghost.
Who?
I mean, there's a lot of hype around Ghost.
Ghost have only been think about, I think 8-9 years ago, they were playing, clubs like, the fucking Thekla or the Fleece in Gibson, supporting like really shit bands. And now they're kind of, they're supporting Metallica, they're doing a world headline tour. And I think that they are literally on the cusp now of being a really big headline band.
Okay.
That's my hot take.
Oh, so we've switched it up a little bit to say that Ghost are the next headliner. Because I think that the original question posed was that there hasn't been a quote unquote headliner for the last 15 years.
Ghost will be that next one.
Okay.
I know nothing about Ghost. I'm learning of Ghost now. I think my missus has mentioned them because she actually quite likes new music and hates everything that I say when I talk about music.
It's not very, let's be fair, it's not very honest that, metal makes, kind of the headlines in the music world. It doesn't happen very often. But the fact that Ghost won a fucking Grammy with a metal album is good going.
The thing is, like, if you're into music made with instruments, in 2020, if you want new music, you basically have the option of metal or country. There's not really in the pop world, even in like there used to be like indie bands coming out, like the Kings of Leon, Kaiser Chiefs, like Arctic Monkeys, that kind of stuff, kind of filled that kind of pop rock or whatever you want to call it. Like they call themselves indie bands, whatever you want to call it. That doesn't exist anymore. There's nothing in the mainstream. Like, you might hear a guitar on that guy from One Direction's album, maybe if you're lucky, but most of it is programmed into a MacBook and messed around with. So if you're looking for real music, you either listen to country music or listen to metal, and I think that's why I think that kind of scene, because there's always going to be people gravitating towards that, because it's the kind of thing that as a teenager really pisses your parents off. I think that's why like the metal kind of scene is where you're going to get it. And actually, if they're a good metal band, then they may well kind of raise that kind of level. But also, that's the kind of people that want to go to a festival, is people that want to listen to. They don't want to go and see Kanye West and his mate who stood behind MacBook Pro, pressing some buttons.
Pressing spacebar to let it play.
Yeah, and like it's all well and good if you want to go to Creamfields and jump around in a field where a man's pressing the things on a MacBook, but like for most of the actual festivals, most people want to see an actual band, and like you either pick somebody who's been making music since 1965, or you try and find these new bands, and most of them are going to be like pop punk or metal.
Yeah, I think we've got Grieper Van Fleet.
Greta Van Fleet.
Who have they're starting to embark on their own career rather than just being a Zeppelin tribute act.
But I mean, they're 15 years old. Like the band's been around for 15 years.
Has it?
They're not a new band.
Like in the mainstream, they are.
I was listening to Greta Van Fleet when I was in secondary school.
Oh, really? Okay.
They were called Led Zeppelin back then.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that I was still in secondary school. Okay, maybe it's the year after I left secondary school. 2012 they formed.
There you go. Like they hit the mainstream with their previous album, didn't they? The really Zeppelin-y sounding one, which was I think there was a song about a train there as well, and it was all very generic blues. But apparently they're kind of carving their way a little bit more now, and they're finding their own sound. But yeah, I think I can't see them being that big headline act unless something big happens. I can't see them being this big headline act. Like the bands that you mentioned, like the Kings of Leon and the Killers and all those kind of bands, they will be the headliners, but not for the kind of festivals that we want to go to. They'll be doing like Reading and Leeds. But like if you're thinking about what's going to be doing Sonosphere and Download,
like Sonosphere is ever going to come back,
and Bloodstock as well. What's going to be headlining those things? You'll probably find that it will be a very aging Slipknot and a very aging. I don't even know who.
Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold, Killswitch, Disturbed.
Yeah,
they seem to do the rounds, don't they? You'll probably find.
Have Disturbed ever headlined? I mean, they've probably headlined like second stages, but I don't think they've ever headlined like a main stage, have they?
They've been in the top kind of 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll probably find as like Def Leppard die, and Judas Priest die, and Iron Maiden die. They'll get bumped up the schedule because I've heard of Disturbed. I might as well go. But yeah, I think Ghost look like they are going to be one of those bands that pull in those crowds. There's a massive mystique around them.
I mean, this is kind of going to be not slapping my argument in last week in the face, but when I seen Metallica on their last tour, Ghost was supporting them. And it was the first time to be honest, I'd seen Ghost. I've been listening to him here and there and whatnot, but then when I saw them live, I had to admit that was like, I get it now.
Yeah,
I get it. And when I literally straight after the Metallica show, I think about the week later, Ghost announced their headline solo tour. And I bought tickets the same day, and their live show was probably in like the top 5 live shows I've ever been to. It was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
I mean, shit like that used to happen back in the day as well, though, didn't it? Like, Van Halen got kicked off of a Black Sabbath tour because they were getting bigger cheers than the main act. Thin Lizzy were touring with Bob Seger and ended up not touring by the end of it because they were stealing the show. Like it's happened all throughout time. So the fact that like Ghost are getting fans from the Metallica support slot is it's shaping up that they are going to be one of those big bands. But I again, same as Matt, I don't know enough about Ghost. Like, I've seen a lot of hype. There's a load of stuff in the guitar press about them.
Listen to Meliora, and that will cement everything. That album is a masterclass, absolute masterclass.
And I think we'll pop both of those things in a poll in the Facebook group. So if you want to have your say on it, make sure that you are part of the Fret Talk Podcast Facebook group. We're gonna do some news.
Just before we do, does anybody
we
want
have
to
something
guess
on Bruce Springsteen?
I think none of us care too much about Bruce.
But I was just going to say, would anybody care to guess what the 3 headliners for Download
This year is it's Biffy Clyro.
Yeah, Biff. About 20-year-old band, yeah.
Kiss.
Yeah.
And Maiden.
Yeah. So it feels like it's the same headline from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Not even that. Kiss were headlining, I think, about 3 years ago. I mean, to be honest, I don't think Biffy Clyro has headlined it before. But I think he's pushing it to be up there. I don't think he's that good, but that's me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Biffy Clyro. I saw Biffy Clyro in about 2011, and they're quite good live.
I love Biff.
In fact, I think they headlined the main stage at Sonosphere in 2011.
Well, there you go.
Were they the second? I think they might have been the second night headliner. I think it was them, Slipknot, and Metallica as the 3 headliners there.
I mean, and that hasn't changed, has it? Like that could easily be this year's headline slots.
Yeah,
and
it hasn't moved on at all. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, the only thing is Motorhead aren't going to be on there anymore, and that's about the only thing that's changed in the last 10 years is you're not going to see Motorhead on the lineup.
Oh, Motorhead were always a mainstay. They were never headlining it, but they were always like third up.
Yeah.
And you get Motorhead, then you get like Judas Priest, and then you get Def Leppard, or you get Motorhead, The Darkness, Judas Priest, or something like that. I have to admit,
the last time I went to a festival was Download 2016, and it actually wasn't too bad because I think I remember being at the main stage, and it was, I can't believe I'm going to say this one, but they were fucking brilliant. Baby Metal, they were outstanding. I really enjoyed them. Then there was, I think it was like Alien Ant Farm, and then it was meant to be Motorhead. But obviously Lemmy had died, so they'd done like a Motorhead tribute sort of show. Yeah. And then it was Killswitch Engage, Korn, and Rammstein.
There you go. And again, that could easily be this year's one.
Well, it won't be Rammstein because they're doing their world tour, but yeah.
Yeah, like you could easily see them on it as headline lineup for this year or next year. Like, it really music hasn't moved anywhere in that world really for 10, 15 years.
It's depressing, isn't it? Like it's cementing in our minds that back in our day.
God, we are the boomers.
We are. When did that happen? No, so it's like ever since this podcast started, it's always happened. Right, let's do some news because we have actually got some news this week. 4P. They've released a rather interesting fuzz pedal. I mean, they've got a fair few fuzz pedals in their lineup. However, the Thorpe Boneyard is a tone bender to end all tone benders. It is. It's got a mode on it where you can switch between 2 and 3 transistors. And it allows you, using all the controls that it's got on it, you can get Mark 1 tones, you can get Mark 1.5, you can get Vox tones, you can get the 2, 3, and the 4 like sounding tone benders all in this one pedal. The controls on it, you've got volume and drive like you usually would. You've got a tone control, which is foot switchable. So you can switch out the tone control, like completely bypass it, which gives you like very classic tone bender because obviously the original ones were 2 knob. Yeah. And there's also a feed control, which is essentially like a bias. So really allowing you to dial in each and every characteristic of your fuzz tone. Sounds really good.
Because Thorpe is built, it's built to withstand a nuclear war.
Oh yeah. Like they're using.
It's a good job, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he uses like top quality stuff. He uses like audio grade electrolytic capacitors. He uses Wimmer caps as well, and they're all handmade, and like the tolerances are checked as well. They are using germanium, like 3 germanium transistors, which they will obviously be like checked for leakage, and they will be matched up, so they'll be paired up perfectly. Like we've got quite a few tone benders recently. If you go back to like the Solar Sounds Boss collaboration, we've had that. There's like JHS has released like the like 4 different versions of like specific era tone benders, and then there was another one released this week as well, another tone bender. So I mean, it seems like the tone bender is what the Klon was 10 years ago. So we've all got one, but like this being a Thorpe, it's going to be built to withstand. It's going to be built really well. The controls on it as well, like allowing you to like a foot switchable tone bypass to give you like to go from like tonal sculpting to like full fat transistor tone is wicked. They aren't cheap. They are not cheap.
They're not. Yes, the Thorpe pedals aren't cheap, but you are getting what you pay for with them, I think.
I mean, this is expensive for a Thorpe. This is, but it'll be like solely down to number one, components are getting more difficult to source, and number two, the germanium transistors are like hen's teeth. They are just simply impossible to find a good stash. So these are going to be a limited run based on how many components Thorpe can find.
And let's be honest, if you're getting any components from Russia at the moment, that ain't going to be happening.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you can't pay for them.
Yeah, trade is a little bit stunted, isn't it? So, like on paper, this pedal is something that you'd think, oh, the guitar community will be absolutely loving this. However, I was on, I think it was the Fuzztopia Facebook group, which is usually a bunch of people who love fuzz, and there was a little bit of backlash against this one. I think there were some people not liking it as much as would be expected. Which, like, fair enough. We're all allowed to have opinions. It's difficult to say without actually having tried the pedal. And hopefully, with the guitar show coming up in a couple of months' time, some people will actually have an opportunity to do that. But I just wanted to mention that because not so long back there was the pack rat, from JHS. They've also done the Bonsai and the Muffaletta, which are kind of roughly in the same vein of like a multifunctional pedal that does, like just because the Bonsai is like a tube screamer that does all tube screamers. This seems to be like pointing in the same direction. When JHS releases something like that, it is instantly heralded as a fantastic thing. So I'm wondering what the backlash is all about this. What do we?
I think they've not actually seen what Thorpe looks like, because I swear to God, if they were going to say anything like that to Thorpe's face, he would pound them into the ground like no one's business. And I don't mean that as a euphemism. Like, he's fucking built like a brick shithouse.
Oh, he is. He's a massive man. He's military. He's ex-military.
He's military.
So he's obviously built pretty well, and I don't think our Adrian is the kind to inflict pain on people just because they don't like his stuff. He's quite a gentle giant, but he's like he's intimidating. You'd want to make sure your argument was very well reasoned before you put it in front of him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if these people are aware of his work ethic. Because all of the Thorpe stuff that I've played and I've tried, has all been absolutely immaculate quality. It's all got that same kind of military attention to detail. It's like tolerances within like points of a percent, and just all of the details are thought about before anything is let out into the world. So I don't know. I don't know what the specific hate for this pedal was, and I think whatever it had, like whatever comments have been thrown in there, by the time I got into the comment section, all of the comments had been taken down anyway. But I can't see reason for it where like it's striking me as a hypocrisy.
Well, I mean, that's the internet in a nutshell, isn't it?
No, this is the internet in a nutshell. I'm in a nutshell. Help me.
Oh,
How was I stuck in this bloody big nutshell? Oh,
yeah, but you know what? Like, it's just
yeah.
There's a wide, like, yeah. It just that's the exact way that the internet is. That it's fine if it's somebody who's got a bit of a like internet following, especially somebody who's got an internet following, the likes of JHS.
Yeah.
Anybody who says anything bad about JHS just gets immediately shot down, as I know, because I tend to rip on his stuff because it's all very derivative, and I'm not particularly a big fan. Whereas, like, I don't mind if one or two things that you've got in your lineup are inspired by other things, but they do it in a different way. Like, this is the kind of thing where he's taken a tone bender, and he's gone, here's, like, you can get the original sound in it, but here's some other functionality that changes it up a bit and allows you to actually, it makes it more user-friendly and also gives you some other tonal options. Whereas what a lot of the time JHS do is, here's a direct clone of a pedal from 20 years ago and it's £200.
I mean, it's hard to argue that. It's hard to argue.
So if I think it should be the other way, but I think because he's got such a big following because of his YouTube channel, I think he gets a lot of support from 13-year-olds with nothing better to do. Yeah,
there's a bit of cult of personality there, isn't there?
And there's another YouTuber that's like that.
I'm not meaning to shit on the guy, because like he's done very well selling his pedals, and he's managed to do very well, like with his YouTube presence as well. Like, that in and of itself has blown up like beyond all expectations. And so I'm not meaning to direct like the hate at him and say, well, if you're hating on this guy, hate on this one. But I just
do that.
I just felt it was a little bit unfair when Thorpe's doing that thing that Xander Circuitry, like the mantra of Xander Circuitry is that they're not going to make a pedal unless they can do it better or like different or better.
Yeah. And
Thorpe's very much done that, where you've got those original sounds in, but then you've got this extra stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of JHS, JHS have released the Overdrive preamp, which this is a little bit of an homage. This one, so it's an homage to like the original run, like pre-release DoD 250 preamp, which is quite a popular pedal. Essentially, what that is a MXR Distortion Plus without the clipping stage. So you get a little bit of, like, you get an added brightness, and then once you wind up the gain, you get like a really nice transparent-ish like edge of breakup kind of clipping. It's really kind of natural. There's no like compression, no over the top saturation. Before they decided to take the clipping out of the MXR Distortion Plus, the DoD 250 had a clipping switch. So essentially, JHS have released the MXR Distortion Plus, I think.
What does the switch in the middle of the overdrive preamp do?
So the switch in the middle of the overdrive preamp, the new, like the JHS one, that's like clipping options.
Okay.
So I think it switches up between two clipping types. I don't think there's an option to take the clipping diodes away.
So literally all he's done is take the circuitry out the box, rubbed off MXR and put JHS on it, and then flogged it off instead of 79 quid or whatever it costs to £210 just to have some egotist's name on the front of the pedal. Sorry if you're listening, but
I mean that's definitely one thought of the whole thing. I think the MXR obviously doesn't have the switch for the clipping, but it's a very good pedal. Like the MXR Distortion Plus is very good. I made one for our good friend Will, and I almost didn't give it to him because I enjoyed the pedal.
I was picking the ballpark when I said about £79. I wasn't far off. £77, £85. I was actually pretty much on the mark with that.
There you go. Yeah, and I think for that circuit, that seems about the right price. I think
that's not what the overdrive pre is worth, though, is it?
No, the overdrive preamp is $179.
$179, yeah.
So you're probably talking 150 quid, which is a bit much for a 2-knob drive pedal with 2 clipping options. I mean,
I'd rather pay the money and get the Angry Rhubarb Angry Rhubarb by Redbeard, because it's about, I think, £170, and it kind of does the same thing, but I think you've got the 3-band EQ on there, and it's very similar. I mean, that'd be much more of a better spend of your money, in my opinion.
Well, the fact that it's got EQ options on it then gives you more control than you do get with this one.
That's what I mean. If that's what JHS should be doing. If they're going to do that, do it and improve it, not just copy it and take off one feature or whatever.
Well, this is like a direct clone, isn't it? This is that homage to that original pre-release version. So it is for the nerds. It's for those people who really want to feel like they've got a bit of like a snapshot of pedal history. But
then he's stuck it in a big box and put the jacks on the side, so it takes up 2 pedals worth of space.
Yeah, like the original ones were big box as well. I don't know if they were side-mounted jacks.
That's all well and good, but we're in 2021, and those components fit in a smaller box.
They do, yes, they do. You could probably get a MIDI pedal out of it.
Stick them in a smaller box, and whilst you're doing that, move the fucking jacks to the top. For God's sake, it's 2020. It's not even 2021. It's 2022. I don't even know what year it is anymore. I'm so stressed by
stop angry.
Putting jack sockets on the side of pedals, people. Stop it.
And I think that's a good place to end the podcast. Is on a on a Matt rant. So that is us for this week. My throat is, as you can hear, it is almost giving up. So it's definitely time to end. I'm going to extend a massive thank you to our Patreon backers, because you guys keep the lights on. And your names are as follows. It is Mr. Andrew Bimson, Mr. Adam Yeomans, Mr. Doug Christ of 37FX, of Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and the Just Surprise Me podcast. We have got Mr. Hugh G. Rection.
Whee!
We have got Mr. Ben Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups, and Mr. Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast and the Second Button podcast. And as little as $2 a month, you can join that list of people. $2, that's less than, I don't know, something that costs $3. I don't know how currency works. I don't know what you can buy.
$2, same price as a $2 steak. There you go.
There you go. I don't think I'd trust a $2 steak, if I'm quite honest. So if you want to catch me online, it's BudgetPedalChap. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and the other one, Facebook. And YouTube is the home to the No Talk or Tone series, and possibly to the new long-running series, No Talk or Tone Versus. We shall see how popular.
There being one episode only, and it never being seen again.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you want it, watch it. Like, that's as simple as it gets. If you want it to continue, watch it, and it will continue.
Don't watch it.
Watch it more.
I mean, yeah. Do me a favour and watch
pan
it
one
twice.
of them left and one of them right.
Yeah. Don't watch it. Watch it. Yeah, because it'll sound like a devil on your shoulder. Matt, if we want to find you, we go heel_MattQ at Twitter and Twinstagram.
Correct.
Yes.
Twitch.
Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Josh, we can find you at the Corona Mortis on Instagram and at JoshyZK at YouTube. And we can find you at the Guitar Geeks podcast also. And Pedalboards of Doom. We can find you on Pedalboards of Doom with some Quad Cortex goodness a lot of the time.
So I figured out what the next Quad Cortex video will be. Let us know on the Facebook forum what you want to see me do on the Quad Cortex.
Indeed. Like, give us some ideas of what you'll watch. Because if you show us what you want to watch, we'll do it. It helps us out. But from us this week, from myself, Mr. BudgetPedalChap, from Mr. Matt Quine, say bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
And from Mr. Oh my gosh, it's Josh.
Gute Nacht, alle.
Indeed, it will be a tatty bye and good night for this week. Ta-ra, Rabbit.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen. I told my daughter, go to bed. The cows are sleeping in the field. She was really puzzled and asked, what's that got to do with anything? And I chuckled and I said, well, that means it's past your bedtime.
Oh, dear.